Alright, so what's up guys? I'm just starting to do the radiator right now, and as you can see, I'll get the lower view here, but we just started draining it from the lower radiator hose. We decided not to use the little opening over here that you can actually take the little screw thing out and get it out that way. It's just going to take too long to do it that way, so right now just draining it and kind of seeing where we need to disconnect things, and we're going to let that drain. And I'll give you some more updates whenever we get more of this stuff off and we start putting the actual new good stuff in. Alright, so step one, we got out the original radiator here, and I put Ziploc bags on the two fan connections there. And since this is an automatic, there are two training lines down there you have to take off. You can see mixed in with the coolant is a little bit of training fluid. And I'll just go ahead and clean up in here while we have this all completely off. But to see what it actually looks like when it comes out, this is everything. You're going to have to reuse these fans here, which is what we're taking off, and a little bit of the plastic, metal tubing here, and all of the little tubes that go to all the coolant lines. You'll have to reuse those. Probably this scrap too. So go ahead and take all those off, and just go ahead and you'll actually see there's going to be some corrosion on each of these connections there. Pretty normal. Just go ahead and clean that off so everything's good whenever you put on your new hoses. And overall, it's pretty simple.
Straight for us, I'm sure of that.
That's why I have 4 volts. Alright guys, so I went ahead and finished up the install. I didn't really get a whole lot of video installing because you got your hands and you're doing everything with the car. It's hard to get your be filming and doing that at the same time. Plus I didn't really want to make this like a do-it-yourself video. There's a lot of other do-it-yourself videos out there about putting radiators in. Radiators, how do you say that? Who knows? But essentially it is all in. We have one little mix-up at the end, but it's in. You can actually see the lower hose down there, the upper hoses by Samco, Koyo Radiator. It's a bit beefier in terms of its thickness, and OEM coolant, the coolant additive that they suggest to use. It's like this super nice to have sun out, but it's like this this reddish kind of pasty looking thing. But you add it to your coolant, and it's supposed to keep all the minerals and everything that get in there. It keeps it from rusting out and everything. So definitely recommended to do that, and definitely recommended to use OEM coolant too. One thing I did notice though that I kind of screwed up on, I went ahead and obviously took this cap off and took that cap off, and we went and we filled this completely up with coolant. And WRXs are a little bit different because they have this coolant reservoir up here that's piped into the coolant system. So filled that up with what was in the bottle, which, you know, as I'm pouring it, I'm like, you know, oh, this is, you know, really green. Like, oh, this is, you know, it's really dark. Like I even commented like, oh, it's really dark. And then you know, after we poured it all in and actually turned the car on, we were like, oh wait, that was like concentrate stuff. So it wasn't a 50-50 mix. If you've ever, obviously if you're doing this, you know, you need to use a 50-50 mix usually, and it wasn't a 50-50 mix. So luckily we didn't have to drain it, because that's what I initially thought we were gonna have to do, is take that hose off and drain it again and everything. But you know, once it kind of circulated in there, this was completely empty. So I just filled that with distilled water and ran down and got some distilled water, filled that up. Filled this up with distilled water and a little bit of coolant that we did have left, just at the full mark. And actually got a good bit of distilled water in this too. So ultimately I ended up using about a gallon of coolant and a gallon of, or maybe just under a gallon of distilled water. So if you are doing that and you're using the OEM coolant, just make sure that you are mixing 50-50, and you probably shouldn't like put, like I did, just the you know, pure coolant and then pure water in. You should probably mix it outside is what they recommend, but whatever, it's in there, it's running good. It seemed to get all the air bubbles out. What also we did was keep this cap off and turn the car on with the heat, and a lot of air bubbles came out of there. Even when we were pouring it in here, a lot of air bubbles came out. So everything looks good. I'm really happy to get these hoses on and these nice clamps. Everything looks great. Radiator looks really new. I might show you guys the old one down in the garage in a little bit, because it's pretty trashy, but if anybody wants it, 25 bucks or something, you know, it's definitely usable. I just replaced it just because I just wanted that added insurance. It wasn't gonna spring a leak on me with 120,000 miles on it. So all in all, pretty simple. Nothing really, you know, to write home about, but it was pretty simple, easy to do, and I'm really glad that I have all new parts on here, and they're all good name brand parts. One other thing I do have coming is, you'll notice this is not an official, genuine STI radiator cap. This is actually just a badge that was put on here. I actually snagged the OEM one, like the official genuine one, for $8 on eBay. They normally go for about 80 from the dealer. So we're getting that, and then I'll probably just keep this one, the OEM one, as it is. I might move this down to here, who knows. But definitely the STI one is gonna go up here when I get it all in the mail. So that's it. Nice install, and let's go down in the garage and I'm gonna show you how crappy the old one was. All right, so let's go look at the other one over here. This is the stock one with 120,000 miles on it. But you can see it's pretty trashy. It is quite worn, even down here, especially. These were really corroded. There's actually brass ones on the one that I got, but this is corroded. Who knows what was kind of forming on it there. It seems to be like a white substance, but like there's a lot of nicks, and this is the back of it. Somehow had like a lot of nicks, especially low down on it here, and a little bit up high too. Overall, I mean, it still works, but like it just, you can see the front here was pretty dinged up, and it just seen better days. So I went ahead and just replaced that. But I guess if you clean it up, I mean, it's definitely still usable if somebody needs one. So if you do want that, just go ahead and get in contact with me. Hopefully locally. I don't really want to ship it, but if I do need to ship it, I do have a box for it. So that's it. That's what I did today. And it was pretty easy. Everything went good. I'd highly recommend, if you have to replace your radiator, just do it your own self, because it's so easy to do. It's ridiculous. Maybe it's not that easy to redo. You know, I do have to check the transmission fluid and just make sure that's topped up, because I had to replace those. They pull those lines out and some fluid did come out, so I did have to check that. Overall, the car runs good. It stays at a good temperature now, and not that I had any issues before, but at least it's not going to overheat on me and not spring any leaks. So really happy. Koyo radiator, great. Samco hoses, about secondhand. They were off an STI, but great hoses. Everything matched up, and that's why you buy name brand parts. Don't go buying eBay hoses and eBay radiators and things like that, because a lot of times they just don't fit right. And then you're always running into that issue of the quality too. So for something as, you know, necessary as your radiator, I mean, it's pretty important to have it working correctly, not springing leaks, and everything's great with it. So that's that. And I'm really happy, guys. I will talk to you guys later. Peace out.